Welcome back, everybody, to my channel. So, what time is it? Okay, so I guess it's lunchtime. This is my first meal of the day. It's literally what I'm eating. I have some bread, piece of cheese, 2 pieces of sausage, and 2 fried eggs. And that's what I'm eating. And I wanted to come on live today because I just completed a first interview for a job that I found on Craigslist. And I feel like whenever I tell people that, they're like, Craigslist still exists? Like, yeah, it does. And so I was going to go ahead and share some jobs that I found, in addition to like going over some jobs on Craigslist. So I'm gonna pull up Craigslist. Oh, and you guys, I found the Shopify apprenticeship. So I also found an apprenticeship where the last day of the application is, I think, on the 31st. Yeah, on Monday. So I wanted to go over that with you all too, because it says that you can't be a full-time student. Otherwise, I was definitely about to apply to this, but you cannot be a full-time student. So if you're not a full-time student, but you are potentially looking to go into tech, we're going to go over this Shopify APM program as well. So, okay. So I'm going to wait for a few more people to possibly enter the chat. Because I also wanted to look for other jobs, not just like within my state, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I need some of y'all to possibly enter the chat. Tell me where you live. And then we can see if there are other jobs, like in whatever state that you live. So, hi to the one person who just entered the chat. Or hi to the one person who just entered the live. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen of this site. So, and actually, I'm trying to see how I can you guys see that? Yeah, but I don't want it to be, okay, so yeah, maybe like this. All right, so let's go over Craigslist because, yeah, you guys, like, I spent, because during my job search, like, you know, as you know, one of my previous videos, right, I talked about how I had just quit my job because, yeah, it wasn't a good fit, management wise, in every sense of the word. Like, it just wasn't a good fit, even in terms of like skill level. Like, I wasn't feeling challenged enough, in addition to it being overnight, and, you know, them literally telling me like, hey, once you're on the overnight, you cannot leave. So I left my job about 3 weeks ago. I have since applied to jobs on LinkedIn. So I've been applying on LinkedIn. And again, I think I made a previous video about this where it's like, I don't apply for jobs like directly on LinkedIn. I go on LinkedIn to source the jobs. I go on LinkedIn to see what jobs are available. And then from there, I'll take that list of jobs and then I go to the website. I apply directly on the website. Now, the only difference with this job search is that I added Craigslist into this job search, you guys. And tell me why. I had a first interview today for a job that I found on Craigslist. I applied, I think, Sunday night. Went through and created some cover letters, adjusted my resume a little bit, and then I submitted a whole bunch of applications on Sunday night. And so I just got the email yesterday, had a first interview today. It went really well. So my second interview was in person on Monday. And again, I found this on Craigslist. So keep in mind, right? If you're thinking like, oh, well, you know, Craigslist and, you know, it's scam, it's spam. let's be serious. LinkedIn literally had, like, that's the thing. Like, you can't even really say that about Craigslist anymore, because it's like, we now come to know that even on LinkedIn, on Indeed, they have all of these spammy jobs that aren't even, like, they're ghost, right? Ghost job postings. So it's kind of like, if you're dealing with that even on a paid platform like LinkedIn, where it's like, oh, hey, you can have opportunity to see more jobs if you pay us $40 a month. Like, I've always I've always wondered about when LinkedIn does that, because it's like, when I was jobless, like, you telling me like, oh, hey, I can give you a discount for this service that helps you find a job. Like, if I'm out of work, what makes you think that I have extra money to pay you just so I can come in over here and find a job? What's the purpose of you guys existing? You're going to tell me that I have to get a premium membership for my profile to be looked at, or for me to be able to reach out to recruiters. So so this is for privileged unemployed people then. And this is not really for your regular schmegular everyday unemployed person. This is for privileged unemployed people, and there is a difference. Craigslist, this for your regular schmegular. This is for your regular schmegular. Because all I'm saying is, like, literally when I was a teenager, I found so many of my part-time jobs. Like, I worked at a retail stores, and I found job postings for the official retail stores that I ended up working at on Craigslist. So we're going to go through a few jobs, and then, like I said, I mean, I would love for people to, like, drop in the comments where they're located, because I would love to, like, search for jobs in your area to, same thing. Not only that, because I haven't really tested out Craigslist for any other area. I've only been doing it for my area. I live in Massachusetts, but again, feel free if you want to drop where you're from in the comments. If you're looking for a job, we can go through Craigslist together and see what type of jobs we're able to find in your city. So and they have everything, like literally everything. When I tell you guys, like, there were times, like, my husband, like, when we were younger and we were like gamers, we would literally link up with people from Craigslist, and like, you're selling video games, you're selling PlayStations, you're like you're literally selling whatever, like whatever it is. Okay, so so this one is for Boston. So we're gonna just go top to bottom here and look at some jobs. So and so Maloney Properties, a property accountant. Now also keep in mind, like, most of these jobs are legit jobs. However, I still say keep in mind the fact that no job's ever going to ask you to interview on WhatsApp, okay? No job is ever going to offer you a job without even doing an interview. So if you ever see, honestly, I don't care how amazing it looks on what platform you see it on, if you ever have a job that's like, oh, hey, you got the job. Now the hiring manager is going to hit you up on WhatsApp. Block them. Block them. I don't really know what the end goal is for those types of situations. Like, I never understand, like what is it? What are you trying to get? And maybe because they're trying to get, like, your social. I think, okay, so maybe that's what it is that I'm thinking that maybe the end goal for, like, these spammers that post, like, fake job posting is, like, eventually they're probably going to try to get all of your information, right? Like, all the information that you would provide on onboarding, your social, your direct deposit information. So that's why it's important, where it's like, to be honest with you, we're in 2025. I don't care how small the company is, they're going to have, like, a smidgen of, like, organization when it comes to their onboarding. So if anybody's asking you to reach out to any third-party service to talk to a hiring manager, block them immediately. So this one is like a full-time position, which I've seen these positions, like, on their website. And actually, if we click this link, so if we click this link too, it goes right to the website. So this, you can tell, like, this is official. Maloney Properties is one of the properties, one of the management companies that owns a lot of like income-based properties in Massachusetts and in Boston. So I think, let's see. Property accountant. I think, which one did I look at? I think I'm in the admin. I'm in the admin and clerical. I'm in the admin and clerical section. So accounting software, a BS in accounting. I don't know anyone who's an accountant. Okay, so yeah, I don't know how we skipped all the way down to finance. Why don't I just do all? But I kind of just wanted to do each one. There's also a lot of positions that are posted here that are posted by like recruiting companies. So like you'll find like you might find postings from like Robert Half, or you might find postings from like Robert, well, I don't know, maybe not Robert Half, but other types of recruiting companies similar to Robert Half. Okay, so yeah, stuff like this is a scam. Stuff like that is a scam. There's no interview that's going to take place like this immediately. No. The minute that you see that they're trying to schedule you for a company meeting when you don't even work at the company yet, do not proceed. Don't proceed, because if y'all know about vector marketing, it's probably one of those vector marketing. They're going to have you in a room with 3 other people with a whiteboard showing you how to go door to door selling them knives, okay? So this one is an administrative assistant, customer service individual. Okay, so part-time 9 to 5. An experience with a POS system. And so when they ask you to forward your resume, what I did for the position that I just interviewed for, I have an in-person interview with them on Monday, and it's at a marina. So I would be helping them with their websites and helping with other admin stuff inside an office at a marina where they rent boats to people. So you would do that, and then you would literally hit one of the links. And then if you see here, this is how it would populate on your email. So you would hit that link on Craigslist. You would reply, hit whatever email link, and then it comes right here, right? And then listen, I take my cover letter. So I populated a cover letter, did not use ChatGPT. Honestly, I would probably, one thing that I do realize is that, for one, I haven't been using any particular like different cover letters or different resumes. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that no more. Like, I understand, I hear people say it like, yeah, and cater, your resume and your cover letter to every single job. No one has time for that. Hear me when I say no one has time to be personalizing a cover letter, word for word, and a resume, word for word, for each position that we're applying to. We do not have that kind of time because these online applications already take so much time. So, that's the thing. Like, if you think about it, it was faster applying for jobs in person because you could literally just go down the street. Like, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, listen, when I was graduating college, the way that I literally went downtown Boston and hit the pavement with my resume in hand and was getting job offers same day, understand, like, and these weren't even like only retail jobs. I was going into businesses like Blue Cross. Like, one of my first internships was at Blue Cross, and literally, it was through high school. But then it's like, when you think about all of the other jobs that I got previously, this was me literally walking in to some of the hospitals, right, that I wanted jobs. And I was literally going in with my resume, like, hey, listen, here's my resume. I saw this position online and I'm really interested in this position. These are the skills that I have. This is what I've learned. This is what I want to learn. I'm scrappy, and this is the reason why. This is what I've been doing. Like, And that was enough to get you a job, you know? So now you got to be scrappy in different ways. So what I did was that I took my cover letter. I have a pretty generic cover letter, and the cover letter is mostly just going over my background. So essentially, I don't want to show it only because I don't want like the name of the companies that I've worked at, because I do put those in my cover letter. But essentially, my cover letter is basically like, hey, my name is so and so. I'm submitting my interest for this position. I, you know, and then I start off with my background. So I feel like too, when I talked to career coaches and they talked about how like a lot of these companies want to know your story, like they want to know your background, they want to know your story. And I think it even speaks even for like social media when they talk about how like telling stories connects us. It does even in terms of like this type of job market where it's like a lot of artificial tools are reviewing your resume. Having a cover letter that tells your story, that doesn't look like it's AI generated, but that actually shows you as a person, can be a way to stand out. So I wrote the cover letter and basically was like, hey, my name is so and so. I am a student at Western Governors University, currently pursuing my software engineering degree. Um, you know, Back in, this year, this is what I did. I learned a lot in this position, and then it inspired me to then start doing this. And then after I worked at this position, I was laid off in 2023. And after working in this position for a year and a half, that is what really encouraged me and gave me the confidence that I needed to decide to pursue my degree. After starting to pursue my degree, I then wanted to apply the skills to this type of position. So then I worked here. These are the things I did, and I think that I would be a really good fit for your position, because all of these cumulative skills, they can be applied to your organization. Not only that, but then if they don't directly apply into the current position that I'm applying for, I can bring something unique and something more to the current position. And so that's the cover letter that I've been using. He got me the interview. He got me the interview. And so I've been using it for, again, like I've been using it for the other jobs on LinkedIn and and Indeed and stuff like that. I haven't gotten any response back to the jobs that I found on LinkedIn yet. I've only so far gotten a response back from the jobs that I applied to on Craigslist. And it's because I specifically know, that's another thing too. What I would advise is that when you are looking for the jobs on Craigslist, also just verify the company. It's not really that hard to do. Like literally just go on Google, verify the company. If the post has like somebody's name on it, maybe go see if you can find them on LinkedIn to verify that that person actually works for that company. You know what I mean? So that you can confirm like, okay, well, if it shows that they're the ones posting the job on Craigslist, then yeah, that probably makes sense because they work there, even if they're not a recruiter, but maybe it's a small office and they're just like, one of the other office managers or something, so yeah, so you'd write your cover letter here, and then, hey, I've attached my resume for your review and consideration, and then you attach your file, and that's it. And that's it. And then you come back here, you're done. Once the email gets sent, then you're back onto your page, and then you're going back, and then you're scrolling, and then you're looking. Generally, I don't do this. So if I see jobs that have like just a phone number, 9 times out of 10, I'm not, because most of the time it's probably a scam. Because yeah, I mean, most places want to have a paper trail, because how are you going to keep track of candidates? Just, having them text you, right? So if you think about that, you'll just be like, yeah, it's probably just not. Because yeah, if you've ever worked at a business, again, I understand that small businesses can be scrappy, but even they have a process, So, so a data specialist. Okay, so this is one of the staffing places I was talking about. You'll probably see a lot from Beacon Hill Staffing, which is interesting because I also see a lot of stuff from them on LinkedIn too. So that's one of the staffing groups that you might see, that you'll see a lot of temp agencies posting positions here. And this is pretty good. It's a law firm, a data analyst for 5 to 6 months. Yeah, so covering somebody's leave, which is good. And it's hybrid, 3 days on site, 2 remote, 9 to 5, 35 hours a week, and $35 an hour. Which that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, low key, if you can get a temp job, do it, because $35 an hour isn't bad at all for 6 months. Like, you know what I mean? Stack up, and then be putting things in place to possibly, get your next full-time job, or plan whatever you're going to do for that time off once the contract is over in professional services. So although they prefer experience in legal, it's not required. And so this is like for the business type positions. Okay, so they have a project manager and an estimator. And yeah, same thing. You want to Google, the name of the position, and then you want to go reply. Don't contact any phone numbers. Don't call anybody. Don't text anybody. You go right here and you email your information. You email your cover letter. You let them know that you're interested in that position. You attach your resume, and that's it. Okay, so so basically once it gets to like the end of Massachusetts, then it starts showing me stuff in other locations. So like New York and Connecticut and the Bronx. Now that's cool, but who's gonna come from Boston to the Bronx, baby? Because not me. And honestly, y'all, I drove to New York like maybe 4 months ago with my mother. The way I'm never driving to New York ever again. Do you understand me? Baby, I almost got taken out. Was it the Staten Island Bridge? I don't know, y'all. All I know is that I was on a bridge that had like 7 lanes. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. Like, I'm from Boston, but driving in New York is a different beast. It's a different beast. I was scared for my life. Do you understand? These people driving and doing other stuff. Like, I literally saw somebody in their car. I don't know. He looked like he was braiding somebody's hair. Like, I don't know. And I'm just like, no, take me right back to my house, because no, ma'am. These people are in a rush. They don't play with you. You better get out their way. No, ma'am. Okay, so yeah, so like this one has the address on it, as well as the responsibilities. So it's located at 7 Whittier Place. So same thing, right? Like if it has an address, you can just go ahead and Google that address. But yeah, they want a customer service representative. And that's the thing too, is because it's like you'll see these jobs on Craigslist sometimes, and sometimes they may not be on LinkedIn, but it's like, no, they are an official job. It's just that, it's slipped through the cracks, or they don't want to spend the money. They don't want to spend the money to look for people on LinkedIn. Because honestly, I'm also feeling like, even as a candidate, there's no ROI to spending money on LinkedIn. And I feel like even on the other way around, as far as recruiters, like, I guess, you know what I mean? But if you're telling me that you may not even find candidates because they don't have premium, well then, babe, yeah, you're gonna be missing out on candidates because they can't pay for premium, because they're looking for jobs and they can't afford to pay $40 a month to be visible to recruiters online. Like, that's insane. Do you understand the level of insanity that takes to try and justify that? Somebody's looking for a job and you're telling them like, oh, well, we can make your resume more visible to recruiters if you pay us $40 a month, or just make my resume visible to recruiters, or just make it visible to recruiters. Like, if that's what it's for, just do that. Yeah, just do that. Just do that. My resume being visible should not be an extra feature. That was the whole purpose of LinkedIn, wasn't it? No, wasn't it? You know? I'm sorry if I'm munching in between because I am eating. I haven't eaten anything this morning. Yeah. Okay. And I also wanted to show one more thing, you guys. Oh, okay. And Toyota has an appointment scheduler position. Service department operator, appointment coordinator. So yeah, they have a lot of open positions in different places. Let's look for like no, because maybe not engineering. Hold on. Because I feel like engineering, whenever I look for engineering on Craigslist, it's not software engineering, it's like mechanical engineering. What about healthcare? Yeah, so they have medical billing and coding specialists. They have a lot of healthcare positions. Yeah, PCAs, medical transportation. And yeah, a lot of these places, like, I'm trying to think. There are a lot of VNAs. There are a lot of VNAs here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so maybe this. Okay. So that's the only thing. I didn't really find a lot of software jobs here. Most of them are outside of Massachusetts as far as like any of the software jobs. But okay. But yeah, I think you got the gist of it, you know? So yeah, if you're interested, see how it goes with your job search on Craigslist. Go ahead and like, do the drop down, specify your location. If you want it to be remote hybrid, you can put it in here. I think you can also kind of specify what you're looking for here. So if it's full-time, part-time contract that you want, and then here you're going to look for the industry. And honestly, most of the time when I'm going through it, I'm going through like every single industry one by one, just because sometimes I feel like if I click all, like I'm skipping over stuff, you know what I mean? But if I know that I'm going through every single industry, then it's like, okay, I know that I'm really just pulling out the ones that, I want. Okay. And so that's one. And then I wanted to also share this. So I got this in my email because I normally have these alerts set up like for apprenticeships and things like that. And I probably had them set up prior to going back to school. But you can't do an apprenticeship if you're a full-time student. So that eliminates me. From these types of apprenticeship opportunities. So I wanted to share them with anybody like who would be interested in this. So it's with Shopify. It's an associate product manager apprenticeship. And so it's with Shopify, right? And so it says about the role, the Shopify's apprentice product manager role is a paid 12-month position. It's made up of 2 team placements designed to develop early product talent. And then it says you're going to learn how products are developed at Shopify, supported by a dedicated mentor, a working community of peers, and a comprehensive learning program. Like, y'all, I would love to do this program. Like, why don't y'all do? That's the thing though, because now I'm also feeling like I've been looking for internships at school. I'm not necessarily finding any internships at school. So it's kind of like, okay, I can't do an apprenticeship because I'm a full-time student, but it's like, I don't see a lot of internships that students can actually take place in, because even the internships are so competitive. Okay. So it says you're going to learn how the products are developed at Shopify. You're going to be supported by a dedicated mentor. So the opportunity, you're going to be joining a high-performing product team, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're going to be taking part in the product development life cycle at Shopify. You're going to learn the Shopify's product management craft. And then you're going to complete 2 different placements. So one with the senior product manager, or I guess with the senior product manager to guide and coach you through your journey. So you'll be expected to learn rapidly within 12 months. Okay, and if you prefer a detailed direction and a clear roadmap, this role is probably not for you. So you're probably going to want to be gritty. You want to be scrappy. It's probably going to give startup culture. It's going to give, where's the rules, where's the documentation. Probably might not be a lot of documentation, but if you've ever worked at a startup, yeah, it's right up your alley. I worked at a startup and it's like, yeah, that stuff is nothing. To work with nothing and just have to create it from nothing, when you're working at a small company who doesn't have everything all together, it's fun. It's overwhelming, but it's also like you do learn really fast. You fail forward and you fail fast. So as you're failing, you're growing and you're learning really fast because you're making a lot of mistakes really, really quickly. So the qualifications now, they want an understanding. So proactive dedication to the ownership of self-development and learning. So you really want to be a person who is self-starting. So yeah, resourceful self-starters who are energized by challenges and ambiguity. So you have to be a self-starter. You have to be self-motivated. You have to be a person who likes to learn and who takes ownership in their own learning, an understanding of the current tech landscape and the products within it, eligible to work from Canada or the US by July 7th, and the ability to work 40 hours because it is not part-time. So it's a full-time position. The application closes on March 31st. So that's why I wanted to share it today, because it just came to my email like 2 days ago and I was like, can't apply. Like literally in an engineering program right now, but I'll share it to whoever can because I don't want to just leave the opportunity and nobody know about it. So I got to share. So the application closes on March 31st, which is this coming Monday. So you want to be applying by 11:59 on Monday. It starts on July 7th. So no exceptions will be granted given the short-term nature. So you have to be available to start on July 7th. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You have to be legally authorized to work full-time, 40 hours. Shopify does not provide visa or immigration support. And then, you'll start to hear back from them within 3 to 4 weeks from the 31st. And then, so now look at this. Okay, so I think we're just going to put this in just because I want to see like what the beginning of it looks like. So, all right, so we'll say da 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 da. Okay. All right. So this is the application. So, okay, so let's look at the application then. So going through the application, you have your regular stuff, your resume, LinkedIn, blah, blah. And then it says, are you able to join the full-time program? So you want to click all of these, right? You're able to work remotely because I believe it is remote. It does say if required, are you able to travel to Canada for 3 days? So I guess they have some sort of on-site in August and you have to be able to go to Canada for 3 days. So also you need to make sure that you have your passport unless you're already in Canada. And then do you acknowledge that you cannot participate in any academic programs, which is what disqualified me. And then you also have to sign an NDA. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so so this is the NDA. So basically, you can't share any like company secrets, basically. You sign your NDA. And then you confirm that you signed it. And then there are several questions here. So like, why do you want to do product management? Tell us something new that you've learned or gotten better at. Are you applying for the technical? So generalist, maybe that opens you up to just more, non-technical, or just opens you up to all types of positions for the generalist. and the technical is specifically for technical people who want to go to the technical track. And then it says if you selected the technical stream, so interesting technical decision. So if you did select the technical stream, you have to describe what you did and then review the latest, describe an update feature that you found most interesting or impactful. I feel like run this question, like, I'm sorry, but I feel like run this question through ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to list out the updates and features of this update. Okay, you're going to ask ChatGPT to actually go ahead and give me a list of all of the updates and features that are related to the Shopify Editions Winter 2025. ChatGPT is going to give you a list of all of the features. Then you're going to go ahead, take those features, and then you're also going to maybe go on Shopify and look up the mission statement. So you're going to look up the mission. You're going to look up their about, and then you're going to put that in with that statement. In addition to like all of the updates and features that you got from ChatGPT, you're also going to incorporate the mission statement and the about into this, this question as to why you found it interesting and impactful. And then what excites you about the opportunity to join Shopify and anything else. And then that's the end of the application. So yeah, y'all. We're still applying for jobs, still looking for jobs. I have a second interview on Monday. Class is going good. We're working steadily and diligently towards our engineering degree at WGU. And yeah, hopefully, I'm not sure how this job interview is going to go. Hopefully it goes well. Like I said, for me, it might still be a position where it's like, I think they're concerned with me being bored. But like I told them, it's just a matter of like, I want to be able to apply my technical skills somewhere. That's it. Like if I'm not, qualified enough, or, I guess, right, every time I apply for like associate engineering positions, I get declined. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I just don't have enough experience to be a software engineer. Okay, but at least if I can work in positions where I can continue to apply my technical skill, I can continue growing in my skill. Like I've already worked as a support engineer, so I know I can do it again because I've done it already. So, at this point, it's just like I'm going to continue growing in my skill. And yeah, hopefully, I'm able to apply some of my skill set to their business. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to be bored as long as they give me something interesting to do. You feel me? I want interesting technical problems to work on. And yeah, I want to see the outcome of my work. You know what I mean? I think that's anybody. But all right, you guys. I'm about to go and actually do classwork now. So I'll catch y'all in the next one.